Beautiful morning, you're the sunshine of morning, babe. Not in the water. Okay, what's up? What's up, street dogs, Bitcoin dogs, or come to the house. All right. So allow me to reintroduce myself. My name's Eric Kim. K to the I am. Oh yeah. Beautiful day. Beautiful morning. Okay, so some thoughts. First, LA is amazing. Look at this beautiful sunrise. Beautiful. All right, so some thoughts. First one is about capital, digital capital, bitcoins, and why it all matters. So I think I guess this even rang with Cindy, right? Because honestly, most people have zero idea what Bitcoin is, why it matters, blah blah, right? So okay, so Bitcoin, I mean, I think for most people it still seems kind of like a scam or a Ponzi scheme, which is fine, but that's also saying the internet is a scam or a Ponzi scheme. Ever since, it's funny because ever since I was a kid, technically I'm a technologist. Ever since I was a kid, believed that the internet could do great things. So my first big idea was open source photography, etc. And I was just okay, the general premise was simple. It's information should be free and open, right? And it's why you got paywalls and all this BS, right? And so that was the first big idea. The second big idea is I think Bitcoin. I mean, it seems so obvious to me. Oh yeah, they're doing some good construction over there. Good people, right? So to me, it seems so obvious. It's duh. It's it just makes sense, right? You can explain it to a 3-year-old. Even Seneca knows what Bitcoin is, right? So for example, I use the pizza analogy. It's let's say you got 8 billion people on the planet, and you only got 21 million pizzas, and there will never ever be more pizzas ever created, ever. And then it's everyone's hungry. It's everyone wants a pizza. And if you think about the economic theories, assuming there's still a world of fiat currencies, US dollars, exchanges, the Chinese yuan, Korean won, whatever, right? Then what that then means is everyone wants a piece of the pizza pie, right? And in theory, you could take a pizza pie, you could chop it up into super tiny parts, which is called a Satoshi, right? And the tricky thing is, okay, so this pizza, right? It's immortal. It's gonna exist forever. And let us assume that it could feed, imagine a pizza that you eat and then it self-replicates itself and it lasts forever, right? So it could feed your family forever. That's kind of a cool thought. What's going on there? There's television from somebody's watching some Kamala Harris. Okay. Look. She's the reflection of confused. Okay. Anyways, so this pizza pie, right? Let us say that's gonna feed your family forever. Yeah, it's a good thought, right? So what is Bitcoin? Why does it matter? So the first general thought is Bitcoin is digital property, right? And property is still kind of a hard thing. Ooh, yeah, good progress. Good morning. So cold, huh? Yeah, stay warm. Someone love this. Seneca loves cranes and excavators. It's name one kid that doesn't. Okay, 877 in Washington. Looks like they're making some good progress. Right? So, so I think the digital property idea is interesting. So the philosophical thought is, what is property? Why does it matter? Blah, blah, right? So property is something that you own, right? simple thought, right? Good morning. I like your pigtails. Ooh, nice light. A beautiful morning. Here's sunshine, my morning, babe. And in the water. Okay, so property is something you own, right? And in America, you're promised property rights, which means you own a property, the government can't just come on in and just steal it or seize it from you like they did with the gold or Japanese internment camps, the homes, etc. So what that then means is, and also Apple, come on. Dude, I walk by this every single day. Why have y'all not updated this yet? Oh, nice, good job. Looks like you actually finally fixed the screen. All right, cool. I'm always watching. Eric Kim's always watching. 8777 watching. All right. So that's the first big idea. It's okay. So the really hard concept is owning property in cyberspace. Good morning. Owning property in cyberspace, right? Oh yeah. Look at the good morning, right? So owning assholes running so fast. So the big idea then is, you know, what is digital property or cyber property, right? So even in Culver City, there's a place called the Sandbox, right? Which is like a Ethereum playground, right? So the big problem with Ethereum is it is not proof of work, it's proof of stake. And the difference is, good morning.
How are you?
Oh, bye-bye. Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, you guys are so handsome. My favorite guys. So the reason why this is a problematic thing, it looks like, shout out to the Shay. It looks like, apparently the rumor is there's gonna be a new, this new Michelin star restaurant coming. The progress is there is good. And Metro E line, yeah. Seneca loves the Metro E line. Beautiful sunrise, right? It looks like they're doing some good construction. Nice, okay. So off the grid street vlogging. Actually, my thought is every single street photographer should also be a street vlogger. It really doesn't hurt. And also shout out to my friend Chris. Incoming workshop in downtown LA. Just Google Eric Kim workshops and you could see it. We'll have some fun together. Yeah. Culver City Arts District, only place in LA to be. But anyways, so digital property. So even my brother-in-law Gabe, he said it wisely, and Cindy's mom said it, she's a real estate agent, is like with property and homes, right? It's like you don't own it, the government owns it, right? It's essentially just borrowing it or leasing it from the government. So the problem is, like, let's say you own property or, you know, a house or commercial real estate, blah blah, right? So let's say you bought it for X amount of dollars, right? As long as there's any sort of property tax, any tax on it, it doesn't belong to you. It belongs to the government, the local city government, the municipality, etc. And as a consequence, some nice views there, right? So anyways, like even the sunrise there. So as a consequence, because that you don't really own it, good morning, because you don't really own it, the problematic thing then becomes they're slowly bleeding you dry, right? And this is also problematic too because now that COVID happened, we millennials are just kind of like a little bit stuck, right? So the big problem then is millennials, we don't got nothing left to live for, which is pretty sad, right? And so I think that certainly the hope element of Bitcoin, the optimism, is what makes it all worth it, in my opinion, right? And so, yeah, I love the sun, right? So as a consequence, you know, what is one topic that everyone likes to talk about or complain about or comment on? It's all about money, cost of living, the price of rent, etc. And I guess, I don't know, your mortgage, paying your mortgage, right? Even I was watching the Thank You for Smoking film, great film, actually produced by Elon Musk and Peter Thiel and Max Levinson. It's like how many evils in society have been done because I had to quote pay my mortgage, right? And send your kids to like a private school. And what I actually loved about the film, Nick Naylor or whatever, right? It's like a very, very charming, like good looking, likable person who's technically the parent of all evil, because he's promoting smoking. And you know, even for me who's like super anti-smoking, I watched the film, I thought it was hilarious. It was a great satire on society. I like the whole idea of the merchants of death, etc. And it was kind of funny too because smoking is 1,000,000,000 times worse than alcohol, drinking while driving, and also apparently guns, right? I think guns just make more of the news because it's more graphical and obvious, you know, it's more tragic. But smoking, I think, my opinion, is 1,000,000,000 times worse than any other ill on the planet. So yeah, I think if I became mayor of Culver City, I'll make it the first non-smoking city in all of Los Angeles. There really needs to be some sort of mandate that, you know, I would make a law. It's like you could smoke cigarettes, but do in your car with the windows closed, like you hotboxing yourself with secondhand lung cancer, and or you do in your house, your apartment, your car. Just do it with your windows rolled up, right? Don't fucking pollute the rest of us, right? Because the primary issue at hand is, you know, the first theory should be first do no harm unto others, primum non nocere, right? Hippocratic oath. Hippocrates said that, right? And so the first thing is, if you got cigarettes, secondhand smokes, etc.
If somebody did that to me,
it looks like this guy's smoking up. But then the problem is people look homeless. Don't mess with them because they might be dangerous, right? Only mess with able-bodied looking people, right? Actually, the funny thing is, in LA, it's kind of hard to tell who's homeless or not. But anyways, so know how to pick your battles wisely, right? And actually, the big problem with smokers, right, is that the question is like, will you ever see that person again? If somebody's regularly smoking all the same time, they make a big fuss. If somebody is, it might be here, it might not be, just don't make too much fuss, okay? But anyways, Bitcoin is digital properties. So the great thing about Bitcoin is you own it forever. It'll last forever. There'll never be more of it. And you can pass it down to your kids, right? And for anyone who thinks it's a scam, once again, the analogy is like, Bitcoin is like the internet. Can you imagine living without internet? No. So, yeah, but Bitcoin ain't real. Yeah, it's not real, but your fiat dollars, your ones and zeros in the economy, that's not real either. Ooh, wow. Civic Type R. Seneca loves the Type R. Wow, this looks great in blue. Yeah. See, it's got the stick shift. Yeah, stick shift. Whoa. Man, this like puts me in a good mood. All right, Seneca, don't worry. We'll save all by the Type R. Yeah, good color. Actually, I think the reason why I like the color blue is kind of the color of water. It's kind of like the color of life. Even people who, the astronauts, go to space, they call it our beautiful blue planet. Yeah, these new Vibram 5 fingers I got, a little sweaty on top, but effing, see, I love you. I don't want to be after returning it. But anyways, so continuing the storyline. So Bitcoin is digital property. I think the first big thing is you cannot inflate it. Like there will never ever be more than 21 Bitcoins ever. And I think that's such a hard idea for people to understand because with the traditional US dollar, fiat currency, blah, blah, some nerd at a computer clicks a button and boom, $10 trillion back in the economy, right? Even China, the reason why, COVID was obviously not a scam, because even the Chinese government, the people there were suffering too. And the whole economy came to a grinding halt. A bunch of these stimulus checks, company bailouts, blah, blah, right? Even Donald Trump, I mean, my critique is, he sent out the stimulus checks, blah, blah, like, I don't think he should have done it. He's also kind of like, I was watching the low-key, the interview with Joe Rogan, and even he was like, oh, you gotta bail out these companies because otherwise we'd have like a Great Depression like the 1920s. I would have said just let the companies die. Like that's kind of the natural thing. Like think about the naturalistically, right? Is that when you have, an organism in the wild, nature, natural, if it's not fit, it dies, doesn't continue to procreate, right? So just let the weak, bad things die and let the healthy ones grow. That's kind of a better thought analogy, right? So Bitcoin is obviously unstoppable at this point. MicroStrategy, Michael Saylor to the moon and beyond the moon, right? And I think the reason why Bitcoin is so interesting is that, like, let's say you want to buy a single family house or a condo or whatever, property, commercial real estate. Like, you cannot buy 1/100th of a house, right? You got to do an expensive down payment, which is potential money that you're putting on the floors, right? And not only that, but you're also putting a potentiality of doing a potentiality of the potentiality of what am I trying to say? Oh, the potential upside of gains, right? Because I was thinking about it. So let's say you buy a $1.6 million house, and within a year, 10 years, 20 years, I don't know, whatever it may be, right? Let's say it increases to being worth $2 million, right? But the reason why it's not the best financial bet is you're still kind of in a fragile position where you still gotta fix it, right? Like you gotta maintain it, you gotta pay property taxes, whatevs, right? And as a consequence, you're kind of still like low-key in the red, right? Whereas, if you own MicroStrategy stock, it's like, dude, it went up like like 40% in like a few months, right? And so if you took $1.6 million, you put into MicroStrategy stock, right? Or Bitcoin, whatever it is, right? Then you'll like reap a 40% gain, right? And obviously you gotta pay capital gains taxes, right? But still, like, there's no closing costs, there's no like kind of cumbersome, annoying ass things that you have to deal with, right? So yeah, I think the general thought is think about Bitcoin as digital property that's gonna last forever, not taxable, no maintenance fees, no insurance, no APR, whatever. It's a positive yielding asset.